She gave birth to Henry VIII's longed-for male heir and then promptly died. This is the story of Jane Seymour. If you're a fan of history, then don't forget to hit the follow and let me know in the comments what sort of content you want to see. Jane was born sometime around 1508, the daughter of Sir John Seymour and his wife, Marjorie Wentworth. Through her mother Marjorie, Jane was a direct descendant of King Edward III, making her and Henry VIII fifth cousins. Jane was also a cousin of Henry VIII's second wife, Anne Boleyn, and his fifth wife, Catherine Howard, because they all shared the same great-grandmother. Henry VIII clearly liked to keep it in the family. Jane is probably the least well-known of Henry VIII's 6 wives, but what we do know is that she was not as highly educated as Catherine of Aragon or Anne Boleyn, but she did excel in the more traditional feminine virtues that women in the 16th century were expected to possess. For example, Jane was very good at needlework. Jane officially became a maid of honour to Queen Catherine of Aragon in 1532, although it has been suggested that she began serving at the English court as early as 1527. Following the downfall of Catherine of Aragon, both Jane and her sister Elizabeth became ladies-in-waiting to Queen Anne Boleyn. Throughout this time, Jane remained unmarried. Some sources do indicate that Jane was briefly engaged to a man named William Dormer. If this is true, then it was likely called off due to the scandal surrounding Jane's father, Sir John, and the affair that he had with his daughter-in-law. The first recorded mention of Henry VIII's interest in Jane came in February of 1536. The thing about Jane is that she's been traditionally disregarded as a bit of a milksop. But here's the thing. Jane was everything that Anne Boleyn wasn't. Where Jane was fair, Anne was dark. Jane was a Catholic, and Anne was at the very least a reformist Catholic, if not a committed follower of the new faith. Anne was outspoken, and Jane was humble. Jane also played the same game that Anne did, and she played it well. For example, in March of 1536, Henry VIII sent Jane a letter and a purse of gold sovereigns as a token of his affection. But rather than accept this gift, Jane refused it. She kissed the letter and sent it back unopened along with the money to the king. And she is supposed to have said that if the king wanted to offer her a gift, he should wait until she was married. Because of this, Henry fell for Jane hook, line, and sinker. To him, it was an indicator that she was virtuous and that she wanted to protect her reputation. Whilst I don't think Jane thought that Henry would go so far as to execute Anne, I do think that she was vying for the throne, because Anne proved that it was possible. So I actually think Jane was a lot smarter than history has given her credit for. I'm back for part 2.